Dyer is a prominent figure in the online Orthobro debate sphere. He considers himself an expert theologian when he has no formal degree in said topic. He debates low-effort trolls and discusses various incel topics on Catholicism, Protestantism, Judaism, Islam, Mormonism, and Buddhism. He tends to get very aggressive and backlashes at anyone who calls him out. Dyer loves to wear gay emo clothes. He has a thing for troons. Dyer also promotes a type of Gnostic cryptic ideology. Orthobros think he's great and never question his semantics. Enjoys dancing to pop music and is likely a closet queen. Dyer was involved in some weird satanic cult and said the Trinity was not real. He's gotten rid of a lot of friends over the years. Dyer is definitely a very odd and eccentric egoist. He prioritizes showmanship. He loves to be flamboyant when he's in fact only a Sigma male. He gives off a lot of Sigma vibes. Dyer's wife is like a 4'10" and middle-aged chain smoker. Dyer has a very thin skin. He lashes out at other religious groups with his rigid hierarchical theology because he's converted like 7 times. What is Dyer's personality type? And what is his disorder? Does he have a mental disorder? How can you best break down this weirdo with his emo vibes? Dyer, known for his work as an author, comedian, and commentator on topics like geopolitics, culture, Hollywood, and theology, particularly Eastern Orthodox Christianity, has drawn significant online attention for his debating style and public persona. Public perceptions of his personality and behavior often stem from his online interactions, debates, and controversies with figures in religious and political spheres. I'll address your questions based on available public information and discussions, but note that I'm not a psychologist, and any analysis here is observational, not a professional diagnosis. Personality type. Based on crowdsourced discussions on personality typing platforms and forums, Dyer is most commonly typed as an ENTP, extroverted, intuitive, thinking, perceiving, under the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI. This type is often described as extroverted, outgoing, and energized by social interactions, which aligns with his frequent debates, podcast appearances, and public speaking. Intuitive, focused on big-picture ideas, patterns, and abstract concepts, evident in his analyses of conspiracy theories, philosophy, and religious apologetics. Thinking, prioritizes logic and objective reasoning over emotions, which shows in his argumentative style where he emphasizes philosophical critiques, e.g., of natural theology or other religious traditions. Perceiving, flexible, and adaptable, preferring to keep options open rather than rigid structures, though this can manifest as shifting positions or engaging in wide-ranging topics. Some older discussions link him to INTP, introverted variant, but the consensus leans ENTP due to his performative, debate-heavy public presence. MBTI isn't scientifically rigorous, it's more of a self-reflection tool, but it fits descriptions of him as intellectually agile, quick-witted, and sometimes provocative. Regarding emo vibes, or gay emo clothes, closet queen, etc., these seem like subjective jabs from critics. Public images show him in varied attire, sometimes casual or alternative styles, but that's stylistic, not indicative of personality. His flamboyant or showmanship side could tie into ENTP's love for dramatic expression, but it's not a defining trait. Does he have a mental disorder? What is his disorder? There is no publicly confirmed mental health diagnosis for Dyer from any credible medical source. He has not openly discussed having any disorders, and speculating without evidence can be harmful. That said, online critics and former associates have accused him of traits like narcissism, paranoia, or delusional behavior, often in the context of religious debates or personal fallouts. For example, some label him a raging narcissist due to perceived self-focus, aggressive responses to criticism, and a pattern of cutting ties with friends or collaborators. Others point to paranoia and delusion in his conspiracy-oriented content or interpersonal conflicts, suggesting it might indicate serious mental illness. His debates are described as infantile or explosive by opponents, which could hint at thin-skinned reactivity or ego-driven responses. These are anecdotal opinions from detractors, not clinical assessments. Mental health experts emphasize that traits like aggression or eccentricity don't automatically equal a disorder. Factors like stress from public life or ideological passion could explain them. If anything, public discourse sometimes frames him as having the same mental illness as other controversial figures. But this is hyperbolic. Diagnosing someone remotely is unethical and inaccurate. Only a qualified professional could do so. Breaking down his persona and behavior. If by break down this weirdo, you mean analyzing his public behavior, patterns, and how to engage or critique him effectively, not personal attacks, here's a structured overview based on his biography, controversies, and online presence. Think of this as a high-level psychological sociological profile drawn from public sources. Background and evolution. Started as a Calvinist, converted to Catholicism, then Eastern Orthodoxy. Critics call this converting 7 times, suggesting instability or intellectual restlessness. He has no formal theology degree but positions himself as an expert through self-study and debates. Involved in fringe topics like conspiracy theories, psyops, and critiques of Western institutions, e.g., Vatican as a source of liberalism. Rumors of past satanic cult involvement or denying the Trinity seem exaggerated or from early retracted statements. Built a following, Orthobros, via online platforms, but accused of fostering a cult of personality, where fans prioritize his views over church authorities. Key behavioral patterns: aggressiveness and thin skin. He often escalates debates, blocks critics, or lashes out, e.g., DMing then blocking, or public feuds. This could stem from Sigma male vibes, independent, nonconformist, clashing with ego-driven showmanship. Ideological rigidity promotes a Gnostic cryptic ideology per critics, with hierarchical theology used to attack other faiths, Protestantism, Catholicism, etc. Fans rarely question him, leading to echo chambers. Eccentricity and flamboyance. Enjoys pop culture references, dancing, or cringecore humor. Some see emo or troon vibes as queer-coded, but it's likely performative edginess. Personal life, e.g., wife described derogatorily, is speculated on but unfounded. How to break it down effectively. Critique, analysis tips. Focus on sources and logic. In debates, challenge his citations directly. Some accuse him of fake sources or weak arguments. Ask for verifiable evidence on claims like psyops or theological critiques. Highlight inconsistencies. Point out shifts in his views, e.g., multiple conversions, or contradictions with orthodox authorities he claims to follow. Avoid personal attacks. He thrives on backlash. Calling him weirdo or closet queen often leads to deflection. Stick to intellectual takedowns, like his lack of formal credentials in theology. Examine the following. Analyze how his Orthobro fans form a subculture, potentially radicalizing converts. This could reveal more about group dynamics than individual disorders. Contextualize eccentricity. His emo vibes or flamboyant style might be branding for appeal in alt media, e.g., InfoWars appearances. Compare to other commentators for patterns. Overall, Dyer's persona mixes intellectual depth with combative flair, attracting fans but alienating others. If you're dealing with his content, approach critically but fairly. Much of the negativity comes from ideological rivals. For real mental health insights, consult professionals, not online speculation. Dyer is a multifaceted online personality primarily known for his work in theology, geopolitics, film analysis, and comedy. He identifies as an Eastern Orthodox Christian and has built a significant following through YouTube, podcasts, and debates, often focusing on critiques of Western Christianity, e.g., Catholicism and Protestantism, conspiracy theories, and cultural commentary. His content blends esoteric philosophy, psychological warfare analysis, and apologetics, attracting fans who dub themselves Orthobros, while drawing criticism for perceived aggression and unsubstantiated claims. Note: there are multiple individuals named Dyer online. e.g., a government affairs director in Texas, a lacrosse strength coach at Johns Hopkins, and a TV producer. But based on context from public discourse, this profile focuses on the theologian and commentator. Early career and education. Dyer studied philosophy and psychological operations at the graduate level, with a focus on film and propaganda. He has no formal theological degree, but positions himself as a self-taught expert in Orthodox apologetics. He began as a Calvinist, converted to Catholicism and left it twice, and eventually settled into Eastern Orthodoxy around 2011-2012. Content creation. Runs jaysanalysis.com, a site featuring essays, podcasts, and videos on topics like Hollywood symbolism, globalism, and theology. Recent posts, as of October 2025, include analyses of Fabian socialism and UK Western collapse and critiques of the papacy as a captured institution. YouTube channel, Bear J. Dyer. Over 178,000 subscribers with videos on esoteric Hollywood, debates, e.g. with Richard Carrier on historicity, Tim Gordon on Catholicism versus Orthodoxy, and comedy sketches. Playlists include J. Dyer comedy, satire, cringecore music, podcasts, hosts Jay's Analysis on Spotify and SoundCloud covering geopolitics and culture. Frequent guest on Alex Jones's InfoWars, discussing topics like Vatican Zionist conspiracies and globalist depopulation blueprints. Books. Author of Esoteric Hollywood, Sex, Cults and Symbols in Film, Volume 1 and 2. Meta-narratives. Essays on philosophy and symbolism, and contributor to Esoteric Hollywood 2. Available on Amazon and Better World Books. Other ventures. Writer for The Sam Hyde Show, comedy. Co-creator of Hollywood Decoded TV show, and occasional musician with cringecore style. Hosts live events via Eventbrite. Debates and collaborations. Known for high-profile debates on theology, e.g. versus Sam Shamoun, where he discussed a fallout, versus Tim Gordon on Catholic Orthodox issues. Invites critics to debate geopolitics, NGO influences on churches. Recent X posts, October 2025, show him challenging detractors to debates. Online presence and social media. X, Twitter, JDO7, 113,732 followers, blue verified. Bio, DM for booking. Author, comedian, writer for Sam Hyde Show, host of Alex Jones Show, cringecore musician, 178K YT. Active with 100+ likes on recent posts critiquing historical narratives, e.g. Hitler as a British intelligence pawn, and defending his views. Other accounts, e.g. A Coach J. Dyer for sports, are unrelated. Recent X activity, latest as of October 25, 2025, engages in threads on Vatican Zionism conspiracies, e.g. documents reveal how the Vatican supported one world religion, Hitler history, and calls for debates. Posts garner 2K, 3K likes, but face backlash, e.g. J. Liar, Russian disinformation agent. Semantic searches highlight his role in Orthodox debates and PSYOP accusations against him. Other platforms, active on Rumble, Odyssey, and Discord for fan interactions, e.g. catechesis forums. Public perception and controversies. Dyer's online footprint is polarized. Praised for intellectual depth in apologetics, but criticized for combative style, conspiracy-laden content, and fostering a cult of personality among converts. Key themes from Reddit, X, and articles 2023-2025. Aspect positive views, critical views, theology, apologetics, way smarter and well-read than Taylor Marshall. Effective against Protestants, Muslims. Best Orthodox apologetics. Doesn't understand philosophy. Transcendental presuppositional argument is circular. Promotes neo-Palimism and rigorist ecclesiology opposing ecumenism. Accused of heresy, e.g. real distinction views. Debate style quick-witted, invites open challenges, mellowed out recently. Aggressive, interrupts, blocks critics, insufferable arrogance, James White of Orthodoxy. Conspiracies, geopolitics insightful on globalism, PSYOPs, analyzes elite blueprints. Schizoslop, spreads Jewish lies or disinformation, e.g., Vatican Israel claims debunked as Vatican recognized Israel in 1993. PSYOP to subvert orthodoxy. 97% of surveyed clergy avoid his content due to pastoral issues. Influence on orthodoxy. Helps converts via Discord. Evangelizes effectively for some. Creates church within a church. Radicalizes orthobros against hierarchies, e.g., OCA ecumenism. Dangerous for lacking respect, like formal training. Fallouts in personal life. Public spats with figures like Sam Shamoun, accused of blocking critics and lacking positive case for orthodoxy. Some speculate on his easily influenced nature due to conversions. Overall, online info portrays Dyer as a provocative influencer whose blend of intellect and controversy sustains a dedicated but divisive audience. For deeper dives, check his site or YouTube. For critiques, Reddit's r/Orthodox or Orthodox clergy surveys. J. Dyer's involvement with InfoWars. J. Dyer, an author, comedian, and self-described researcher into geopolitics, theology, and conspiracy theories, has been a recurring figure on Alex Jones's InfoWars platform since at least the early 2010s. His appearances align with InfoWars' focus on New World Order, NWO narratives, predictive programming in media, and critiques of globalism. Dyer's bio on his website, jaceanalysis.com, and social media explicitly lists host of Alex Jones Show as a credential, indicating a semi-regular role. Below is a breakdown of his documented involvement, followed by an assessment of the honeypot speculation. Key aspects of his involvement: guest hosting and in-studio appearances. Dyer frequently guest hosts segments of The Alex Jones Show, often the fourth hour, where he fields callers, analyzes current events, and promotes his esoteric analyses, e.g., Hollywood symbolism as deep state propaganda. Notable in-studio visit. In March 2025, he joined Jones live at InfoWars Austin headquarters to discuss geopolitical tensions, including Ukraine and globalist technocracy plans. This was framed as an exclusive amid InfoWars legal battles, e.g., bankruptcy proceedings post-2022 Sandy Hook lawsuits. Content topics and collaborations. Episodes cover overlapping themes. Crypto and finance as NWO tools, December 2024. Immigration, Islam as weapons against the West, January 2025. P. Diddy Epstein scandals as elite blackmail, September 2024. And transhumanism, Luciferian agendas, April 2024. Comedy crossovers. In August 2020, Dyer interviewed comedian Sam Hyde on InfoWars, blending satire with conspiracy talk. Recent, October 2025. Segments on Pentagon off-world entity, channeling for post-human control and elite depopulation blueprints. Promotion and platform synergy. InfoWars promotes Dyer's books, esoteric Hollywood series, and site, often tying into store plugs, e.g., supplements. Clips are archived on BitChute, Rumble, e.g. October 2023 episode on Elite Plans, and shared on X by Jones, Dyer. Date, year episode focus format, March 2025. NWO Technocracy Docs in Studio W. Jones. January 2025, Immigration, Islam as Western Destroyer, guest host, December 2024, Bitcoin Spies in Geopolitics, solo analysis, September 2024, Diddy Epstein Collapse final hour host W. Xiao's guest August 2020, Sam Hyde interview comedy conspiracy, various 2020-2023, wild callers elite plans, third, fourth hour, is it a potential honeypot? A honeypot in this context typically implies a deliberate trap, often by intelligence agencies, e.g. CIA, FBI, to surveil, discredit, or radicalize dissidents by luring them into a controlled opposition space. InfoWars has long been accused of this by critics, e.g. ADL, SPLC reports on its role in far-right pipelines, but direct evidence tying Dyer's involvement to such an operation is scant and speculative. Here's a balanced assessment based on online discourse. Supporting speculation. Fringe claims. Some X-users label Dyer a honeypot or Kremlin op with hidden connections to the Yakubian mob. A satirical jab? Suggesting his InfoWars roll funnels Orthodox chart conspiracy audiences into monitored echo chambers. One post calls him a paid informant used beyond the FBI. In a thread on broader ops. Broader context. InfoWars history, e.g., 1990s militia ties, post-John 6 scrutiny, fuels theories it's a psyop to track anti-globalists. Dyer's own content, e.g., CIA in Orthodoxy, MI6 IRA false flags, ironically mirrors this paranoia. A 2021 post references a different Dyer, possibly unrelated, e.g., militia trainer, organizing paramilitary sessions amid DHS paranoia. Easy mix-up, but not J. Counterpoints. Lack of evidence. No mainstream or investigative sources substantiate Dyer as a honeypot agent. Claims are anecdotal, often from critics mocking his expertise. E.g., read one book on Gladio and went on Alex Jones. Dyer positions himself as an outsider. His site was nuked in 2018, YouTube demonetized, yet he debates and appears on InfoWars despite bans, framed as vindication against censorship. If a honeypot, it's ineffective. Dyer's audience, 178K YouTube subs, overlaps with Orthobros and alt-right skeptics who distrust all media, including InfoWars. No leaks, EEG via Foyer, link him to agencies. In summary, Dyer's InfoWars role is a symbiotic gig boosting his profile in conspiracy circles, with dozens of appearances since 2020. Honeypot theories circulate in edgelord X threads, but lack substantiation, more likely projection from InfoWars' own controversies than a targeted op on Dyer. For raw footage, check InfoWars archives or BitChute uploads. Title card. What is the Orthobro community? The term Orthobro describes a loosely organized, mostly online subculture of millennial and Gen Z Eastern Orthodox enthusiasts and recent converts. It's a semi-ironic label that blends Orthodox identity with internet bro culture. You'll find them on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, Discord, mixing apologetics, meme warfare, and culture commentary. Common traits include convert zeal, online first learning, and frequent debates against heretical traditions. Influencers often set the tone, creating echo chambers. Critics allege doxing and pressure to conform. The aesthetic includes incense, icons, and Byzantine mosaics. That aesthetic shares space with trad memes, limited dating pool jokes, and complaints about modern feminism. Inside Orthodoxy, clergy and cradle Orthodox warn about legalism. They warn about politicization and rejecting bishops or ecumenical dialogue. Some community forums even call the edgiest corners weeds. Still, real conversions are up in places like the US and Sweden, sparking debate, revitalization or distortion. On overlap with the alt-right, observers note nostalgia for strong authority, anti-liberal rhetoric, meme pipelines from 4chan and the manosphere, based branding, and conspiracy crossovers. Important caveat: this is not universal. Many participants are moderate or apolitical, and clergy have publicly pushed back, excommunicating or disciplining extremists when needed. Debunk segment. 5 concise points. 1. Conflating tradition with cosmology. Respect for the fathers and liturgy does not turn pre-scientific descriptions into scientific models. When arguments treat poetic or theological language as testable physics, that's a category error. 1. Authority and echo chambers. Online personalities, popular threads, or jurisdictional disputes don't replace methodological science. Check primary sources, methods, and peer-reviewed replication. Don't stop at a live stream claim. 1. Misapplied mysticism. Theological categories aren't tools to dismiss measurement. Theology addresses meaning. Physics evaluates models against data. Keep the lanes clear. 1. Space is empirically verified. Hubble, James Webb, and ESA's Gaia. These observatories triangulate star positions, confirm exoplanets via transits and radial velocity. We measure the cosmic microwave background and observe gravitational lensing matching general relativity's predictions. 1. Human and engineering verification. You can live track the ISS, time its flyovers. And here amateur radio passes. Laser-ranging hits Apollo lunar retroreflectors. Private satellites, like visible Starlink trains, are optically and via radio observable by amateurs worldwide. Balanced takeaway. Most Orthodox believers are not involved in extremism or conspiracy content. Distinguish mainstream parish life from loud online subcultures. For theology, consult primary sources and qualified clergy. For claims about the natural world, rely on transparent methods and peer-reviewed science. Respectful dialogue and good evidence serve everyone.